Out of the blue, plans have emerged from somewhere in the UK to build a brand new spinning roller coaster. And like said, it seems to have come out of nowhere. Disney as a whole seem to be making a lot of announcements recently, with the one fans are most excited for being a repaint of a castle. And amongst weird opening times, new ride announcements and more, a 900-foot roller coaster has appeared in an official roller coaster manufacturer booklet. What is going on, man? As you can tell, it's been quite the week, because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to actually some of your favourite series, apparently. This past week in theme parks, where we take a look at the past week in news at theme parks. And my god, there are some interesting things to talk about. So if you want to skip to specific stories, be sure to use the video progress bar chapters below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. These videos do take quite some time to research and create. So if you haven't already, subscribing would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's get straight into the news. Because sadly, today, there is no quickfire news segment. I know, what a sad time to be alive. But that is because there's a lot of stories that do require a quick, but a lot that requires more in-depth discussion. So with that being said, let's get into the news! Starting at Kings Island over in the USA, because they recently shut their Boo Blasters Dark Ride. I say recently, it literally shut the other day, and they've announced a replacement before it even shut. That being a new Phantom Theatre opening nightmare, seeming to have a similar ride system from the one concept art we have. Circuit Breaker at COTALand, which is right next to COTA, the American racetrack, such a unique name for that park. They have had the track for that Vekoma tilt coaster completed, and they even had a train on show whilst they put in the final pieces. Jenkinson's Boardwalk, a place I have never heard of in my life, are adding Patriots Run, a brand new, what looks to be Pinfari coaster that has a very generic layout, to the park in 2026. Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift over at Universal Studios Hollywood now has the walls down around that station building, and it's looking lovely. And that mural is very cool on the wall. Oh, I hope they didn't charge much for that. If you don't know, the car's a Dodge Charger. Anyway, down in Mexico at Six Flags Mexico, their Speedway stunt coaster, the Vekoma Junior Boomerang, has now gone vertical and has actually seen the spike topped off already. Back up in America again at Nickelodeon Universe, one of the world's biggest indoor theme parks, and it has a roller coaster with the world's steepest drop. Or it did, because it has been shut for so long. And don't worry, Shellraiser and also Sandy's Blasting Bronco at that park have been delayed opening yet again. Oh, are we ever going to see these rides open? I doubt it. Over at Epic Universe, some fences have actually gone up around the new expansion plot. Some construction fences. You know what that means? Construction. If you didn't guess. Could we be seeing that expansion sooner than we thought? Busch Gardens Tampa Bay as well, they've done something sooner than we thought in closing yet another ride. Now it's the Log Flume's turn, because their huge Log Flume is going to be departing the park very soon to make way for who knows what. A child was spotted walking on the monorail track at Hershey Park. How did you even get up there? Some new B&M track has appeared at their factory in Ohio, and a very interesting image has appeared inside a roller coaster manufacturer booklet, or brochure, same thing, with the image in question being this. Yes, I know what you're thinking. What on earth am I looking at? Well, this was in an Intamin brochure. Of course, Intamin manufacturing many different tall rides. They've literally got like multiple world's tallest and fastest roller coasters, including the tallest and fastest, under their belt. And now they look to be showing something that's almost double the height of what King Dakar was. It looks like one of those old shuttle coasters, you know, Superman Escape from Krypton, that thing. It looks like that, but with some weird top and turn at the top, and it seems to do some long swooping airtime hills at the bottom as well. I don't even know what to think of this. An estimated 900-foot tall roller coaster like that. That would be ridiculous. Now, before we do anything more with this episode, before we jet off to loads of different locations, I've got a new segment for you, and this will only exist in this episode, and maybe if I'm still doing this series next year, which crazy consistency if I am, it might appear again at a similar time next year, but we're going into the Disney news of the week. If you don't know, it has recently been D23, a huge Disney expo where they showcase loads of new stuff for films, shows, and even the theme parks. And as much as this year they didn't have too much to say with the theme park side of it, there was still quite a lot. So first of which being a look into Villains Land, the brand new area coming to Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Florida, with some photos of the inspiration for the architecture, if you care about that, and also a first look at the team behind it, and of course the actual name itself, which isn't official. It's just called Villains at the Magic Kingdom. So it could definitely change name from there, but that's very exciting. Tron over at Magic Kingdom as well is going to be going red at some point in September to celebrate the brand new Tron Ares movie. A new restaurant seems to be opening over at Hong Kong Disneyland. The Incredicoaster at California Adventure has been closed for 4 days. Wait, that is not an announcement, that has just been happening. The Carousel of Progress is going to be getting some updates at Magic Kingdom as well, with a new Walt Disney audio animatronic figure. And fun fact, they actually showed what sort of overlay and update they were going to do to it originally, and it was going to be a complete overhaul into a massive cake. You could call it a cakeover.
I don't think it's funny.
These puns are why you stay watching this past week at theme parks. But the one thing that piqued everyone's interest was the fact they're repainting the Magic Kingdom Walt Disney World castle to its original cream and blue colours. I mean, it's quite exciting, but I just find it hilarious how many Disney fans think that is the best thing that's been announced. Which makes sense if you're not over in Europe, because I think the biggest thing that was announced was the fact that it was announced Disneyland Paris are going to be opening their brand new World of Frozen in Adventure World in spring 2026. So we've got not long to wait now, as if we haven't been waiting years already, for that brand new area to open, which is super exciting. We haven't had a date for it announced at all, so to hear spring 2026 is a good sign. Just waiting for that definite singular date now. But I mean, whilst we're actually over at Disneyland Paris, I might as well also talk about the Lion King area that's right next to it, or is going to go next to it in probably 700 years, because that has actually been testing. What? You might be thinking, well, they've got the ride done, it's clearly testing. No, they've actually made a mock-up of the actual log flume itself and put one of the boats on it to sort of test how it will run. And yeah, they've been testing it through and seeing how it will run around the lift and drop and stuff. Quite a cool behind-the-scenes thing to see. Does that mean it's going to open anytime soon? Probably not. But I guess now we have travelled over to Europe. Thank you so much, Disney, for allowing me to travel from here to here. Although before we talk about Europe, I want to quickly go to Japan, because this has been spotted in a random field. Yes, that is the train of Do-dodonpa, what was the world's fastest accelerating coaster. And now it's just sat in a field. Quite sad to see that. But back to Europe, as you can see, we're here, where there has been one other story from another European theme park that's not in the UK. That being, once again, Efteling in the Netherlands. My favourite theme park in the world, I think. I still can't decide. And last week we spoke about a rumour to do with their show Ravelin and the fact it might be leaving the park and turning into a brand new show. Well, they announced something to do with that. And here on This Past Week in Theme Parks, we are never wrong. I just missed something quite major, because not only is Ravelin getting a brand new show sort of with the same characters and a similar storyline, but obviously a different adventure, but right next to it they're actually going to be building a brand new flat ride based on soaring around the skies as a raven with raven wings, and I'm sure that will be a great addition, and it should be done in 2026 or 2027. Stop right there. It is now time to head to the UK. Sadly, because there's been some very interesting stuff going on over here, especially with the new surprising roller coaster coming to part of the UK. Very confused how it's come out of the blue like this, but we'll talk about it. First of all, heading to Alton Towers. They have now blocked off the bottom of Dark Forest, which is where the sort of, you know, Turn of Rita was, and that long strip behind where we thought the scare zone, that Dark Hollow one, might be. They have also put in planning application to build a brand new sound stage, which is very interesting. There's no real detail of where it is, just at Alton Towers. And Wickerman, their wooden roller coaster, of course, had a lot of downtime recently due to various fires and other fires, but has recently reopened on a very strange schedule, because it opened on the 28th of August and since until the 1st of September, which might be when this video is going out, says that it's going to daily operate only from 10 AM till 2 PM and then shut for the rest of the day. So random. Some other news, Discovery Studios is busy building its first roller coaster, an Intamin drift coaster. Next Sunday, Paultons Park are going to be shutting Cobra, Edge and Magma. Get rides in on that whilst you can. And something we all need to go and ride again is one of the best dark rides in the country, potentially the best. Wallace and Gromit Thrill-O-Matic. Now, they did say at the start of the year, oh, there might be some updates in there. they've gone and done it. And they have gone and added a few models throughout the ride in different sections that were a bit darker or had something else there to relate to the brand new film Vengeance Most Foul. You've got Norbot right at the start. After you see Wallace and Gromit to your left, you see Norbot on the right out of his box. Later on, you've got Feathers McGraw in the nun outfit, which the way that pops up in the dark is hilarious. Norbot again going into recharge time, and then a final model of Feathers McGraw sat down on his chair with the seal on his lap inside the final few turns of the ride. And those models do come with their own lighting and their own sound effects and stuff. They've actually changed a bit of the music in there. And me being a huge Wallace and Gromit fan, I do absolutely love seeing these additions. A couple of them do seem to now hinder the storyline of it, because it sort of went film to film and now it's just like film, oh, we've gone into Vengeance Most Foul, oh, we're back to that film again. But I think it's so much fun, and I'm so glad Blackpool went and did this, because they really didn't have to. So really nice to see. As it's really nice to see an area of the UK that doesn't really get too many new roller coasters seeming to be getting a brand new one. Now, I haven't actually seen this anywhere online. I haven't seen anyone speculating about this or showing these plans. So a huge shout out to Ewan for actually sending this across, because it appears that Landmark Forest Adventure Park in Scotland is going to get a brand new roller coaster that is a type of coaster we don't have here in the UK. And a planning application has gone in for it. And so far, it seems to be a lot of people agreeing with it and not really sort of going against it, which is really good to see, as this park did have a roller coaster back in the day, but there was a huge incident on it, sadly, and that's why it had to close. And now, many years later, they're planning something new in its space. And it's not really too clear what this coaster is until you search deep into these documents. So if we go on the screening request document, as you can see, it says about the manufacturing of this coaster would take around 20 to 24 months. So we're looking maybe around 3 years from opening. So this could be a 2028 edition. It says the ride will contain 13 different phases, including a series of turns, drops, and climbs. And construction would be primarily of steel and have a maximum height above ground of 17.6 meters, which if we do the conversion in our head, 17.6 meters is 57.74 feet. And as much as that's not the tallest ride in the world, what is it that makes this ride a little bit more unique? Well, here it says about the noise level and also about the trains, and it actually goes to say, in contrast to conventional family coasters with a train composition, the spinning coaster concept involves the use of single vehicles. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, we have a spinning coaster. What do you mean? It's not a first in the UK. You've got marathon spinning coasters at Towers and Chessington. You've got a Max spinner over at Paultons. What are you on about? Well, I did some more digging, because as you can see in this layout plan right here, you can see the layout on screen. It's a very sort of vague layout. You can't really tell what it's doing, but it looks like quite a big roller coaster. And over on the right hand side, in extremely small text, you can see it says proposed development layout provided by manufacturer Gerstlauer Amusement Rides GmbH. And Gerstlauer spinning coasters, the actual trains themselves, you don't face outwards when you're spinning, you actually face inwards, as you can see from this B-roll of other Gerstlauer spinning coasters. And it appears we're going to be getting one of these in the UK over in Scotland at some point over the next few years. And yeah, you can see from that layout where maybe the station's going to be, where the lift hill is as well, and then the various different sort of helixes, turns, hills, even the brake run and everything. Like, it's a very detailed look at the layout, and I really can't wait to see it come into fruition. Very easy to miss stuff like that. So if you have any news that you think I've missed or I might miss that week, drop me a message on Instagram or tweet at me or something like that. I don't know, because I don't want to miss out on news like that, because that is vital. It's very, very cool to see. Maybe at some point I will go out to Scotland and try that brand new roller coaster. What do you think to that piece of news and all the other news I've covered today? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this series, because I can't lie to you, I am gone.